Ben, back on your old stomping ground this year in the Supersport Championship. How are you finding being back?
Yeah, it's good. It's obviously been a super long wait for this moment, but it's good to be back, you know, at the sharp end, racing with a smile on my face, having some fun, because, you know, ultimately this is why we do it. We do it because for the love of it. So it's fantastic to get back in my old team Gearlink that have brought me right through. I've already spent a couple of years with them and really familiar with them. So it's great to be back with all that crew that I had last time and be back, you know, right up there in the sharp end.
And obviously last year in the Superbike Championship, what's been like the biggest transition coming onto the 600 again?
Obviously the horsepower straight away. I remember rolling out of pit lane on the track day, you know, a few weeks ago for the first time, and I came straight back in after a lap and I said, something's wrong with this bike. I think it's on 3 cylinders. And Westy's bike was there, jumped on Westy's bike, went out there, and I'm like, oh no. I think that's just the hardest part about getting your head around it. You know, mid-corner, it's not just like, brah, and you've got power, you can be in whatever gear you want, you know, not literally, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And I think that's the main thing. You've just got to sing these things, you know, just on the edge everywhere to try and get the maximum out of it.
And you're obviously on the Kawasaki this year. Is that the package to be on? Is it feel you could be competitive on that in the championship?
Yeah, there's no reason why we can't win races. We've won races before on the Kawasaki, and there's no reason why we can't win them again. The Kawasaki has always been seen as the bike that's just behind the Yamaha, but I think with the right team, right rider, you know, you can put that on the top step. We've seen it in World Championship, and I think we'll see it again this year. You know, we've got a good rider lineup in our Gearlink team, and me and Westy are going to be pushing each other all the way. And I think with the upgraded 636 engine, I think there's no reason why we can't mix it hard at the front.
You just touched on it there, James Westmoreland, your teammate. You're both pretty passionate guys. You wear your heart on your sleeves. Does that create any tension in the garage or even out on track?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, 100%. We're 100% competitors. We get along. We have mutual respect for each other. You know, we don't socialise with each other. We're not like friends in that way, but we respect each other. On the track, if I'm racing, I'm not giving him an inch. He's not giving me an inch. You know, we've had our differences over the years. We've raced with each other we've been in the same team for a few years, but ultimately that's just racing. Like you say, we wear our heart on our sleeves. Sometimes people like that. Some people don't like that. Me, I say it how it is. It is what it is. If I think it's wrong, I think it's wrong. It's black or it's white. So that's how it is. And I think Westy's, you know, he's a quiet guy, but he's pretty similar in that sense.
And this year, what would look a good year for you guys, or personally yourself? What are you out to do?
Oh, number one. Like, we both want to win the championship. We want to win the championship for Gearlink. I guess that's the biggest thing as well. Like, we're here for our team as much as we are here for us. You know, it's having that connection with the people that you work with. You know, Michael, he puts all his time and effort into this, puts his money into this. You know, we're a self-funded, family-run team that run at a really high level. We may not have the budget that some of these big teams have, but we do a good job. And I think, you know, that being said, it's all about being number one. Anything else it is what it is. But ultimately, we're here because we love it. So that's a good thing.
And it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on Superbike Championship this year. You raced with the guys last year. Who do you see that's going to take the title this year or push for podiums?
Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag this year. It's never been one of those championships where you can say, yeah, I think that guy's going to win it. One weekend he'll win, he'll do a double, and the next weekend he'll be 5th or 6th, and you'll think, oh, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. It's just so competitive. I think the PBM Ducatis are obviously the ones to beat. Team is just exceptional. Josh Brooks is on his 2nd year now with them as well, and I think he's going to take some stopping. But we've seen already in the few tests that we've had that there's some surprise packages. Honda's got a really good bike, and I can see the Honda's doing really well with Andy Irwin and Glenn. So I'm going for a little bit of a mixed bag of podiums, but I think in the end, the Ducati, the PBM, Josh Brooks will end up champion.
And obviously this year we've got a reduced championship in terms of the circuits we go to. How do we prepare any differently for the races, and do the circuits, are they some of your favourites on the calendar?
I've won at every circuit on the calendar, so there's nowhere really I can say, oh, that's not my favourite. But that being said, there's a couple of tracks we're missing that the Kawasaki loves. But the only problem is the lack of time we've had. Everyone went to Spain prior to lockdown. Our test was scheduled to start the weekend that lockdown started. So we were going to do a race weekend,
Yes.
do some club racing and get loads and loads of laps on endurance. So unfortunately, we've had one track day to prepare and the BSB test. I'm coming back from the Superbike down to the 600. It's going to take time. I'm not sure. Some things have changed with the bike since I've last rode it.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit lost, but also we're not that far away. So I feel like once we click, we're going to be there. The only problem is time's not on our side. We don't have the 12 rounds. We can't take, you know, round 1 and 2 to get used to it and then be on it. We have to be ready this weekend with the limited rounds. So fingers crossed, we can damage limitation because we're not quite there happy yet, and we can get some serious results. I mean, I'm going out there to win. Whether that happens or not is another thing. So fingers crossed we can have a good weekend and really propel ourselves into the season and hopefully be number 1 at the end of it.
Brilliant. Well, we can't wait to watch. Best of luck and yeah, all the best.
Thanks very much.